Guys, so lucky for us, I have to restock up on some paints. So I am going to go through, which I've already made 2 other videos, but I'm going to go through how I mix my Floetrol water and acrylics for Dutch pour and dirty pour. This is actually a metallic. So I have it right here, and it's pretty low. But I do add in quite a bit of extra paint if it's a metallic. Put in a little bit of water. And honestly though, I use this style for really both, honestly. It seems to work well either way anymore. I don't really try to do things up and dilute them differently. It pretty much works for everything. For the white, because I use the Apple Barrel brand, it almost seems like it's still too thin, even for Dutch pour, but it still comes out great, honestly. So, I mean, I don't really have a bunch of issues with it, like I kind of thought that I would later on down the road. But it's mainly, so I have these cups already filled with Floetrol, and that's just kind of like how much paint that I use for each of these little cups. You know what, I'll pour those in there later. There is one, okay, this big giant cup, and it's the color that I really, really like. And it's like this bluish green color. And I'm actually going to show you how I mix this today because I'm sure that you'll see it in the future. So this is the Apple Barrel Aquamarine. And I'm going to put as much as I can in here. I'm almost out, so not good. So that's like not too much. And you mix in some of the Caribbean blue. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. There's really no consistency that I go by, honestly. I just kind of roll with it. And if I mix it together and I'm thinking, hey, this stuff looks too thick, then I'll add a little bit more water to it. But you also don't want it to be super runny and, you know, have it all run off. But I'm using just the regular US Floetrol. Nothing special about it. You're still going to get cells. You don't have to use any type of other cell reactor in all reality. It just depends on what you want to do. And usually if you add a little bit extra water into it as well, then you're going to come out with more cells because it kind of separates it. Now, the reason that I put water in here at all, look, I got a big old glob of either Floetrol or probably from that Caribbean blue because I was running out of it. I do have a pantyhose piece on top of my Floetrol with a rubber band to try to filter it, but I still become relatively impatient. So, oh my gosh, look at that cute color. It is gorgeous. Honestly, it shows up great too, especially on dark paintings. So if you're big into black, it's a great, great thing to have. And it doesn't really matter how or when you add your water in. I just put a little bit in there because these are going into tube containers as well. So I don't want them to get all like gloppy. Don't get me wrong, they will. So you kind of want to make sure that you got something extra in there. That way it doesn't build up. And this is from one of the tubes that I got from Jerry's. So this is the Pathol, I don't know, something blue. Phantom blue, Pathum blue, whatever it's called. I don't know. A lot of people use it. But I wanted to try some other paints to see if they would become more dominant. And in all reality, it kind of does. But at the same time, You know, it really just depends on your color scheme. So colors have a lot of play to do with it. And one of the things that I have realized is that if I want to use brown and I want to use black, don't put them together. Like, don't put them close to each other, because the minute that you put them close to each other, it's going to turn into mud. So there's a lot that I have learned. I'm really wanting to make some videos on some of the paintings that I do and some of the techniques I've learned and other things like that. I'm kind of interested in the chain pull thing, but I haven't exactly mastered all of that. The only one I've done so far really is the flowers. That's the only thing that's turned out pretty decent. I tried the rose. It was horrible. But there's a couple other things that I've been trying to learn. So, I mean, I guess I'll just kind of make this as a huge learning experience for a little bit of everybody. So, if you look at my stick, it's got this deep blue color to it. And that's some of the paint that had gotten stuck to the wooden stick, which is fine. It's whatever. Honestly, it's still going to come out the way it basically looks coming out of the can. So that darker color, it kind of comes out the same. But I just kind of use my better judgment, and here's my Floetrol too. The biggest thing, like I said though, is just putting all of your colors together properly. And that is a big, big thing. I mean, you're going to see a lot less mud like this. The way I'm mixing it too, you don't have to worry about silicone. You don't have to worry about using a bunch of alcohol for cells. Like, this is a perfect way to start out with your acrylic pouring. Alright guys, I am going to jump off here and get these poured into some tubes, and then I'm going to start making some videos. I'll do some dirty pours, some Dutch pours, and I know you guys have probably seen a million videos, but I really, really want to touch base on color coordination. So give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe, and we're going to learn this stuff together.